Having once been a military fort, there was, of course, a building with holding cells. These were at the time being used for storage. Once the bandits had been captured, Mel had his store hands clear them out. A few days after the fight, they were moved in. The prisoners were still weak from their injuries, so it was a relatively easy task. Mel also sent word through the mail courier about the bandits' capture. It would take at least a few days for the letter to reach the nearest military outpost, and a few more days, if not longer, for soldiers to be sent to pick them up. It was the morning after the bandits had been moved to their new cells. Lee walked quietly out of the bunkhouse. It was still dark, being extremely early. Nobody in the trading fort was up yet, and everything was still. Lee moved down the main path of the fort. Finally, he came to the newly restored jail. Upon entering, he found the one guard on duty. He was sitting and immediately stood up as Lee entered. Lee stepped forward, holding a handful of gold out to the guard. "I must speak with one of the prisoners, and I would appreciate it if my visit was kept discreet." The guard looked at Lee and then the gold. He took it, nodded, sitting back down. The mage walked down the dimly lit corridor. He looked and to each cell past the iron bars, seeing each of the captured bandits, until he found the one he was looking for. He stopped just a few feet from the bars, looking at what appeared to be the sleeping form of the bandit leader. Before he could speak, Mackie spoke. "Don't waste your time, old man. I'm not telling you squat." "You do know what is probably going to happen to you, right?" said Lee. "The army will be here in a few days to pick you up, and when they find out what you had, there will be no question to what your punishment will be." "Oh, I'm sure everyone here will enjoy that, watching me burning at the stake, especially after all we have taken from them." Mackie sat up as he spoke, finally looking the old mage in the eyes. "I can help you," said Lee. "I'm not saying I can save you, but in the war, had to use fire to defend myself. I still think about it. It's no way for a human, even one as low as you, to die." "So what?" asked Mackie. "Are you offering to kill me?" "Perhaps," said Lee. "It would be instant and painless. Or if you prefer, I can make it so that you don't feel anything when they burn you. You can make a good show of it, laugh and cuss and scare the crap out of everybody. I've seen it before. You bandits like that sort of thing." "And what is it you want in return?" said Mackie. "I want," Lee spoke, stepping closer to the bars, almost whispering, "to know where it came from. Where did you get goblin fire from? And is there more?" "As much as I love to be able to tell you," said Mackie with a smile, "I just can't. I know the person who gave it to us gives stuff like that to other people out here, bad people, worse. And I know he's really important, but I can't tell you anymore. It's like somebody reached inside my skull cap and yanked all the info right out." Lee felt a shudder inside himself. This was not good news. "All right," said Lee, looking up. "New deal. You let me try to look inside," he tapped his forehead, "and whether I find what I'm looking for or not, I will help you." Mackie suddenly looked afraid. "No, I don't like that idea. I don't want you poking around in there. It just doesn't sound like a good idea." Lee looked at the man before him. He was a criminal, but he was still a man, and a brave one at that. Foolish, but brave. "What you're feeling right now," said Lee, It's not yours, the fear. It's been put there by whoever took your memories. Let me help you." Now Mackey's face was one of terror. "You're not messing with my brain, wizard. I don't care if I burn. I don't care if I feel it. You're not getting in." Lee nodded in resignment. "I guess that leaves me no alternative. I'm sorry if I hurt you." As he spoke, Lee extended his open hand through the bars. Mackey recoiled as if it were the head of some ferocious dragon. Lee closed his eyes and extended his mind and will. Instantly he felt pain behind his eyes. A powerful mental barrier was in place, forcing him back, physically as well as mentally. He shook the pain off and stepped forward, trying again. Again he was forced back into his own mind. The raw, psychic power was overwhelming. He steeled himself and thrust his hand forward, this time almost angrily. This time he was barely able to dig in. He focused all of his will and mental strength, trying desperately to see through the crack. Finally, he glimpsed the darkness within. A being comprised almost entirely of shadow. It was but the shortest of glances, but it was enough. He could taste the raw, malevolent power of the being who had put these defenses in place, and it was beyond anything he had ever experienced. Releasing his telepathic hold on Mackey, they both fell to the floor. The guard was instantly at Lee's side, helping him up. "I will be okay," said the mage. "He will wake up with a very nasty headache, but he should also be fine." Lee left the jail, pondering the grave new developments. Having once been a military fort, there was, of course, a building with holding cells.